Meeting, all members are present, with the exception of, who don't we have here? Jack and Jason. Yep. Okay, first item, public comment. Hearing none. We're gonna pass over that next one again. I'm trying though, because I didn't even do the minutes for this week. Vote for the clerk. I guess the next item we can do is look over the budget for next year. Budget. What do we have? Do you have the handout for last year's?
No,
We're just
was
gonna-
I supposed to?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
so well, we can look at roughly, this is what we started with last year, right? The paper that,
Do you have a
of
copy?
this? Yeah. I do. So I guess we're gonna have
Okay.
to look, before we do it, to look at salaries and everything before we set next year's.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to figure out, this is the balances as of right now.
So we actually have $59,670.09.
Where are we
No.
looking?
On the, that page is the,
This is always this thing. All right.
that 59,000 is the, I always forget now, that's the, let's see, 50,
Isn't that your operating budget?
85,000.
Receipts.
Oh, no, maybe
reserved.
85 is your operating budget.
Yeah, the first one, this one.
Oh,
is the
oh,
budget.
oh. But that 30, 55.
No,
Okay, yeah. So this is your budget for the year on this,
the 55.
the
550.
55, and then there's this whatever receipts reserved for 4,000, whatever that is.
Right, but the ending,
So your annual budget is 59,000 for the year.
well, I mean, I just, the expenditures, the one with the wages and everything is our budget.
Right, but that 30,000 is inflating that number, because that's not a normal part of our budget.
That was for the.
That's that's for our improvements, so.
Yeah, so there's the money out, 85,550.
Right.
So, okay, so we'll have an idea. We'll look at it for the next meeting, just to, we need this by town meeting, right?
Yeah,
Is that what she wants it?
yeah,
So we'll
so,
look at salaries and, like, right now, for instance, supplies, we've spent nothing, right? And we spent,
looks like we've spent
$88.
$88,
Yes.
so.
I'm wanting 28 cents.
I'd have to look. Come on, you guys.
1,200, yeah, so we'll have to, I'll see if I can get from the town accountant, the breakdowns of all of these.
So that
numbers.
1,200 actually is a one-time thing. That's our, kind of our,
Upward.
customer service for our server and stuff.
That's a yearly
That's a
expense?
yearly expense, so that's something that we should expect every year.
What
1,200.
would the line item, the one that says other charges, it was $150, what would be other charges?
No, it's $1,550.
No, but the expense, I believe that actually I don't want to say and then be wrong, but I believe it was our mass access membership.
Oh, okay, so that would fall under other charges?
But I said, I believe, I would have to look. I
Yeah,
can't
so
say for sure.
We'll get a breakdown of those for our next meeting, and then we can look at the budget.
So you will get a breakdown from the accountant?
Yeah.
Okay,
I-
yeah, that would be
I
great.
think she should have it. Then the same with wages, and we can see, like, right now in our wages, we have
We've spent 18.
18,000, and we're more than halfway through the year.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next item is review job descriptions. Now, do you have those? Because I don't have them.
I don't have them with me. Basically, it was, remember, they were exactly the same, but we needed to add in the management piece into that,
So we're reviewing them, but isn't the
So
personnel board?
we're gonna review them and then send them to the personnel board?
to make a change, just because the descriptions were identical,
Right.
so the access coordinator position didn't say anything about management.
Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Anita say that they're looking at all the
Yes,
job descriptions?
they're looking
I
at
mean,
all
not
the
just-
job
not just for us, but I
yeah,
mean for
they're looking
Wage-
at
the
all
wage
job-
study?
Yeah, they're looking at all job descriptions and all the wages or whatever. But I guess it's this giant study thing. So I don't know. We still haven't heard anything from Personnel Board as far as the salary increase on Access Coordinator, have we?
No.
I assume
No.
we would have been notified, right? I mean, that was, geez,
November?
before that, I think, yeah. That was like one of the first, I think
Yeah,
the
we did
first
that
time we
way
met,
back, yeah.
like maybe,
It was before
August.
the town meeting of allocating money, so that was October.
yeah,
So
it
you're
was,
looking
it was a
back at
I
long
think they
time ago.
met and discussed it, I don't know if.
But
they
nothing
voted-
came of it.
I don't know if they voted on it.
I assume we would be
Does it-
notified.
Does that, Chris, does that have to go to town meeting?
No,
No.
A wage
no,
change?
we've changed, we change them all the time,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Could that be something that you could find out from Anita? That
Yeah,
they
we'll
did
have to-
vote on it, and if they approved it, can they send us something to let us know?
I'm sure she would have told us, but I can ask her.
Well, she's so busy with the budget now, you know.
That's muted. Can you hit that button?
Here it goes. It's green.
I know you have something to say.
It's green.
Policies and procedures?
Yeah, so the policies and procedures, that you do,
We need to go over that as far as, so Anita had a draft, I guess? You guys had a draft?
a long time ago.
Okay,
don't have
it's
it,
like
we don't-
super long. I
Is
didn't
that
know
when
if,
you and Raj were on the board?
No, I don't, that's something I think the town administrator put together.
Oh, okay.
okay,
Leon,
no,
No, I think it was,
was it Anita?
yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost sure,
Did we get a copy of that?
at the very beginning, remember we got like giant packs of papers? Yeah, please see attached. Yeah.
What was the date on that? The email she sent?
It was actually before I officially started. It was June 27th, 17.
What was it from Anita?
Mm-hmm.
What was the heading, so I can maybe resend it out to everybody?
Well, I can send it to you, but it was
Yeah, send it.
info as promised. I'm not sure if she sent it to you. And the budget as well, if you want that.
Well, that's the last one, right?
June what, you said?
The 27th of June. But it was,
Were we
it was a
even
draft.
board then?
2017?
Now send it to
No,
me.
you weren't yet.
No,
I don't
think-
believe
yeah,
so.
I was gonna say,
September.
yeah, I was
So
gonna
I'll
say.
forward this to you, Chris. But it's really long and a little generic. So I would, at a minimum, I'd like to add some stuff that's very specific to things that we are likely to come across so that we can nip things in the bud.
Do you have it in those Word documents, or
This is a Word document.
can you add what you think it should be?
Sure, but some of that stuff is gonna be kind of your guys' call, like, if, you should have a policy on, say, like, religious content, whether you want to include it, and whether you will include it from out of town, but you need to understand that that encompasses all religions, you know what I mean?
Oh.
So, that's stuff that you need to think about.
So is that,
You know
is
what I
that
mean?
in that current policy?
In this one, no, this is like really very generic, doesn't have specifics, but like,
Is that something that most towns do have in their policies and procedures?
not necessarily, but some towns have come into like some real problems, like in, was it Framingham? They have, or they had a problem with, some residents who made some sort of show that was themed in Holocaust denial. And because it was public access and they didn't have like a policy that stated that certain content wasn't allowed or whatever, they had to allow it, and there was a big lawsuit and da-da-da-da-da. I'm not saying something like that's gonna happen, but, if you say, we'll air religious content from anywhere if it's sponsored by a resident, that doesn't mean just Christianity or just, you know what I mean? It could be anything from anywhere, So that's the kind of stuff you need to think about.
So I'm gonna send this, I think, to everybody.
The policies and procedures, yeah.
Jason. So I'll send that out to everybody. I think we're gonna need probably
That will take a
a
while.
meeting
I
just
mean,
to discuss.
Yeah, so you talk about like, when someone submits a program, how many times that you will guarantee that that program will be run or whatever, because otherwise someone can say like, I submitted this program and it should have been run 20 times, but if you have it written down in your
Okay.
policy manual, we, guarantee that we will err it once, and beyond that, it's at our discretion. As long as you have that stuff kind of written down, it just protects us from.
So if a board is requesting from you to televise something, like I was requesting, to televise that for the lighting plant,
Mhm.
then we'd have to ask you to do how many specific times we'd wanted to see it run. That's what you would need in writing from us?
No. I'm just saying like in the policy manual. So say for example, someone does create a Holocaust denial program. If we have in our policy manual that we will run a program once, and beyond that one airing, it'll be at the discretion of the board or the
Oh, okay,
PEG
okay,
coordinator
okay.
or
I see-
whatever.
I see what
That
you're
gives us an out so that we can air that, but then it's at our discretion for future whatever.
Okay.
You know what I
I see
mean?
what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So the middle one, draft, it's, cable policies, when you get the email. That's the one we'll look at,
Yeah.
and we'll either add, you can take, it's 19 pages, so.
Yeah, it's really long, but it's also kind of
So
generic.
would you suggest that we kind of like review it?
Look
and
at
then
it,
just
see what
kinda
you
like
think
if
we
if
want
can
added.
make Notes on it and then just bring it back to the board?
I'll tell you, I'll put, or, bring forward the stuff that I think is most pertinent right now. But of course, that's a document that can be evolving, that we can add to later and
Okay.
make changes to.
So we'll start with this base, and then
We'll start with this base, and I'll bring in the stuff that I think is most pertinent, that we should really adopt now.
Okay, that's good. Now, your reports, what do you have for us tonight? I forgot you're basically programming, not counting anything.
Programming, okay, yeah, so new programming. Last time we met, we had recorded the Athletic Hall of Fame and the holiday concert. Since then, those programs have been completed. They've been well received. The holiday concert, the Major Edwards holiday concert, had 157 views as of this evening on YouTube. The Athletic Hall of Fame was just uploaded on the 10th, so what was that? A week ago, and that has 85 views so far. Just some stats. I was just looking. So our Gov YouTube channel has total over the life of the channel 10,569 views with 55 subscribers. And in the last 28 days, it's had 230 views and 1 new subscriber. But even more interesting, the public channel has had a total of 3,127 views during its life with 20 subscribers, and in the last 28 days has had 425 views and 6 new subscribers. So over the entire life of that channel, it's had roughly 3,000 views, 400 of which have taken place in the last 28 days. It has 20 subscribers, 6 of which have joined in the last 28 days. So the YouTube channel is growing very fast. So I just wanted to
Those
share.
are unique views.
Correct,
I
yeah.
go back and if I'm sitting there and I go to
If you watch
7
it twice,
pages-
it's not gonna, yeah.
Okay, so it's unique.
So the public channel is gaining a lot of momentum as our programming is going up. So I just wanted to share that with you, because that's kind of huge, that we have 20 subscribers for that channel, 6 of which have been in the last 28 days. So that's a big deal.
And this is what channel now?
That's for public content, so like 191.
Okay.
I don't have actual stats for cable television, I can't get those, but I have them for YouTube. We're in the process of being able to get statistics for the VOD channel. I've been working with the server company they're updating some stuff, and then, they're gonna train me on how to do reporting for the VOD pages.
Who sends you the videos of like the football games and stuff?
What do you mean? What football
There
games?
was a video I was on one,
We recorded those.
okay, it was way out of whack. I mean, the
What do you mean?
players were like really weird. They were like expanded.
The dimensions were off? Okay,
Way off.
all right, so whenever you see like a problem like that, write it down, maybe when it aired
Okay.
or whatever, so I can take a look at it. It could be as simple as something like, the file is marked at the wrong dimensions or something.
And then last week on 191,
Mhm.
it was a couple of days where it was just blank. There was nothing.
Yes, there was a scheduling error there. The
As long as you
server
know
had
about
the server had to be reset, but,
You know about it.
yeah, I knew about it.
I thought maybe it was my TV and the cable. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, it was just, it was an error, but it's fixed now.
So on the website, the live's not working. They're doing this live right now, right?
Yeah?
It's not loading, so just to let you know. Again, nothing says select the video to play,
But the whole station, nothing's showing up, right?
but nothing
Not
under
just,
live. Nothing under live. Oh, let's
For
see if
none of the
I gotta
channels.
pick a channel, we gotta go to government maybe.
Have you,
Attempting to start playing that, let's see, here it is, yep.
okay, all right. So just that main page.
have you been able to investigate like the school committee meetings, the volume? I mean, it's like still very difficult to, I don't know if they're not talking into the mic or whatever, but it just seems like it's really kind of hard at times.
I haven't been able to troubleshoot with that
Okay,
yet,
all right.
but, we're working towards
The
that. So
superintendent isn't bad.
is loud, right?
It's the board, and then the other board that sits on the other side,
Okay.
so.
It is on my list of things to do,
I
but
was
we
trying
haven't
to
got
watch-
there yet.
I don't know, watched one of the meetings, and it was like, I could hear her,
Mm-hmm.
but when it came to, the actual school committee board, it was really hard to hear what they were saying.
Yeah, so Rich is recording those now. He's creating written instructions so that we can
Okay.
train some other people on that. Once those written instructions are in place, then I'm gonna troubleshoot and figure out exactly how to get that audio correct. So, and then we'll make sure it's in the instructions. So that,
Because 193 is, I mean, you could hear those guys, when they're talking.
which one's 193, public or
Yeah.
government?
That's the,
Oh, no, we don't have 193. We're 192, 194, and 191.
yeah, well, not 193 is that
It's in
Worcester, the Worcester
Oh, yeah.
station, so.
Well, they've got a ton of paid staff. They're lucky.
Okay, so, under the PEG coordinator reports, she gives us an update on stats and everything. Is there anything else we'd like for her at the meetings? The main thing she gives us is, I mean, obviously she
Well,
goes
oh,
over
and
all the other stuff.
I didn't say that we recorded three basketball games last week. Fortunate for us, West Boylston and Tohoto played against each other, and I manage in Berlin and Boylston as well, so,
That was a-
the games at Tohoto were recorded and the games at West Boylston were recorded, so.
Okay, now, there
we have
was,
all of
there
this.
was a couple of basketball games on that just played music through the whole game. In other words, there was nobody telling you, oh, this guy's going down, you get layup, no, it was just all music. I mean, the game was going on, but it was all music.
Okay, but that's not one of the recent ones, because these recent games that we just recorded haven't been edited
I
yet.
don't know, didn't say.
That might be
anything.
some past programming from something or whatever, I can't
Just
speak
thought
to
it was
that.
kinda strange.
Yeah, but that's a distinct possibility, I mean, I can't control what was made in the past, but, and we had, Friday's game, we had, an announcer, or a commentator for that, so that was our first time in years having a commentator, so we're testing those waters out.
The FISC meetings in December were out of whack, too.
Dimensions,
Dimensions were out of whack.
okay.
Chris looked like he was like, way,
Could it
I
be,
think
could it be,
it's just-
could it be a certain TV or no, it's something?
Well, if it's consistently everything on your TV for that channel is, the dimensions are off, then that would be the
I mean,
case,
I don't have
but,
any problems with any of the other, just certain, it just seemed, because I watched FISP and then I watched Selectman was fine, planning board was fine, everybody else was fine, it was just that the FISP was way out of whack.
Okay, I'll
So
take
I
a
don't
look,
know if that was, you know,
take a look.
and you guys need to start using the mic, because it's really, I mean, I know I'm old and my hearing's starting.
Which meeting you talking, not the
FISP.
selectmen's?
FISP.
FISP. The problem with the FISP board is that, you know, there's maybe 5 mics on the table, but there's not in front of everybody.
I know.
So you can't expect, you know, you may be sitting there and I may be sitting here, I'm gonna be a little louder than you are over there.
Maybe we should get the mic so that the mic up.
Wireless?
How many people are on the FISP board?
11.
It's like a
Supposed to be
a
11.
million people.
Yeah, there's no way to get mics.
Okay, I
for
see
everybody.
that right there. That's gonna be a file error. Let me just edit metadata. Tell it that it's 4.3, not 16.9. Okay, fixed.
Okay.
Just
No,
like that.
thank
So
you.
yeah, just tell me, shoot me an email, whatever. If you see something that's off, it's usually a really quick fix. So let me just look at,
Just so you know, there's a ZBA meeting on Thursday night, so. make
this
sure-
Thursday night?
Yes, make sure you should have gotten the list. We sent it out to everybody.
It's not on the town calendar.
Yes, it is. The agenda was posted Tuesday, today.
Okay, well, today, come
Yeah,
on.
today. No, but we sent, but my secretary
Thursday.
sent a list out of all our dates for the whole year. That's what I had discussed with you.
All right, we will cover it.
Okay. Because we have a public hearing, so
Okay.
we're raising our
Your
rates.
fist is
Fees.
fixed. What else was out of whack? You said
The fist.
dimensions wise?
The fist.
You said something else was too.
No, who's the FISP?
Just fist?
Yeah, just the FISP.
Oh, one of the
Okay.
basketball games?
Oh, one of the.
No,
Oh,
you
the
said that was
sound, you
music.
said the
The
music.
sound, yeah, the
Yeah,
sound was.
I can't.
Okay, so, so the update we get in regards to that, that's what we expect, so.
Okay.
And the select board did vote to extend until we get a new, you know, extend your position until we
Mhm.
get a new member. So, the next thing we have is review the bids. Here we go.
Here you go.
Here we go.
Did you get from everybody?
Yes, from everyone I requested, I got what I asked
And it's
for.
apples to apples, we know.
Plus some extras. So this page on the front is one that I created comparing our 3 vendors, so you can see, okay? So it's itemized with each equipment thing, but then at the bottom, they have kind of their miscellaneous whatever, and then labor I filled in right there. Okay?
So they're all doing the exact same thing with the
All
wiring?
yes,
The
correct.
labor's all the same?
Yes,
They're not,
correct.
they're gonna do it with wire mold, wherever they need to?
Yeah, we're gonna,
No behind the wall wiring and snaking wires?
no, there will be snaking wires. We have to go up to the control room.
Okay.
There will be snaking of wires.
Well, obviously, just looking at this, we'd have to go with UMS, because the other two are well over 30,000.
Yes. But it should be known that these are equipment quotes from these 3. Some of these items I can get for less
Okay.
elsewhere and intend to. However, we're requesting, you know, these expenses from these people. For example, the Sony camera controller RMBR 300, those are prices for a new one. Boylston has a used one that they're not looking, you know, to use again in the future, so, you know, I'd like to purchase the used one from them rather than buying a new one.
You know, just looking at this, okay, I'm looking at the difference between AAV, which is the most expensive, and UMS, which
Mhm.
is the least expensive.
Mm-hmm,
And if you look at, you know, the line items, they're almost similar
mm-hmm,
until you get to that darn labor.
mm-hmm.
AAV is almost $11,000 for labor, where the other
Mhm.
guy is only 3,300.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that?
Well, I can't explain it exactly, but UMS does not have like a brick and mortar location, and it's a small business versus AAV is a large business with many employees and a brick and mortar location.
Okay, so I guess I'm looking at the wrong, because I would think the bigger the company, they would kind of, the labor would be a little bit less, whereas a smaller company would be more because they don't have as many.
The smaller company doesn't have the overhead cost.
Well, overall, when you look at it, the price for the materials is almost, in some cases, exact, if not,
Right, exactly.
you know,
Right, it's just-
$100
it's just-
off.
It's just that labor.
It's the $7,000 and then the $5,000 difference in labor, so.
Is the labor cost, is that negotiable?
You could, I mean, to a point, I'm sure you can go and ask them, you know.
Well, so the only thing we can say, I mean, I can entertain a motion that we go with UMS not to exceed, what do we have for this, 30,000? So not to
30.
exceed, you know, $26,000, but you're gonna probably buy some, we're not locked into this
We're not
contract.
locked into this.
Well, they
Some
go-
of this
well-
stuff, you know, we may encounter where we need some item that we didn't think of, a scaler or a converter or something,
Right,
nothing
but-
major, but, and again, some of these things I found cheaper on Amazon, so
Okay,
there's
so-
no way I would buy it from them.
So the problem is though,
you
if
know?
if we don't buy the material, are they figuring that price that we're buying the material?
No,
If we don't buy
no.
the materials, would they say, well, I'm making less, so I'm gonna have to go up higher?
No,
on that?
no.
Okay, so out of, this is the list of the items that we're looking for,
Correct.
Okay. Can you just give us a brief, tell us which ones you think you can get for less money?
I mean, just excuse me 1 second, I don't think we need to go over that. I think if we make the motion to go with UMS, not to exceed $26,000, I mean, we can't get it, I mean, she's not gonna know the answer to the price or which she can
No,
get
but she
cheaper.
said that some of these items she can get for less money than what they're charging.
So if,
So now-
if
Yes,
she
so there's
tells
some,
us that,
like these acoustic panels, this is so we can compare apples to apples. There was other acoustic panels that I also asked them to quote me. However, one of the vendors didn't quote me for those panels. And I actually would prefer to go with the other panels, which are cheaper. So, I mean, a lot of these things, you know, some of this stuff's gonna go down. That controller there, there's some headphones that are a lot cheaper on Amazon, but, you know.
Yeah, a question I have is, like you said, merchandise, we can negotiate, find it on Amazon, different prices. The labor, the only question, I'm sure they all have their own labor rates, whatever their rating is, but this UMS quoted it, could have underbid how many hours it's actually going to take. So is there anything in the quote that prevents them from coming back and saying, oh, we quoted it's gonna take 40 hours, and it's actually taking us 80, and send us a bill for 40 more hours?
Mhm.
You know, because they underbid themselves trying to get the contract.
Well, that's what
Yes,
the
I wanna make sure
contract.
that the contract
Once
covers.
you sign a contract.
Yeah,
you
we have
sign
a, you know,
Right.
they have a contract. The last page, so these other pages are their actual quotes that they submitted. The very last page in your packet is that, proposal for labor from UMS. Okay?
I mean, I just find
I
it
agree.
amazing that
The correct,
it's,
it's huge, it's such a drastic change.
it's 6, you know, 5, one of them's 5,000 more,
It was
and the other
seven-
one's 7,000 more. I just
7,300, yeah, it's
I
crazy.
just can't, but, so,
I've used all three of these, vendors, so you can, you know, pick any of the three with confidence. because
no, we're
I've
not
used
gonna,
them
there's
all.
no way I would vote for the guy that's $10,900
Yeah,
over
there's no
3370.
justification for that.
We
Right,
have to
so-
have a good reason to,
All right, so make a motion that we go with UMS not to exceed $26,000.
I'll second it.
And if the pay coordinator can, you know, make adjustments, get things for, you know, a little bit less, then,
so when you say we're gonna sign a contract, we're obviously not, we're only gonna sign a contract for labor?
No, I'll,
So we can't
Labor
sign a
and
contract
la-
for the materials if you're gonna get some.
well, I'll cross out the items
Oh,
that
that you
I'm not
think you-
gonna
yeah.
purchase from them.
Okay.
So now that we know
So
we're
not
going with
both.
this guy, I'm gonna go through his list and pick, you know, which items I don't want to purchase through him, that I wanna get elsewhere.
Okay, motion and second. Any other discussion in regards to this? So this way we can move forward on this project. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Okay. So we're 7 o'clock. Do you have to,
Can I just,
Go.
I'll do a couple of moments.
okay,
Can I just ask a real quick question? How soon would you be going out with this?
What do you mean?
start
How soon would you be
work.
contacted saying that we're gonna go with UMS, contact her immediately?
I'm gonna look over these items again. I'll let him know that we're gonna go with him, but, we're not ready to sign the contract yet, because I need to go over a few equipment things. But, so he can pencil us in his schedule
Right.
now, because it, obviously it's not gonna
Okay.
happen tomorrow.
And just, he brought up a point, something I thought of. On the monitors with the projectors, which system are we going with? Are we going with we were going back and forth with the wireless, we were going back.
Yeah, we're doing that click share thing, so it's a USB dongle that plugs into your laptop, and that's it.
So that will have to be available to somehow they'll have to pick that up for every
We
meeting.
left
Yeah,
them
it'll
in the
be
conference-
here, it'll
Huh?
be
We
here,
left them in the conference room.
it'll be
But
here
they'll be
in the
on this
conference
table.
room.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
We are gonna have to buy an adapter because the new Apple laptops don't have USB ports.
well then don't use apples.
No, it's
They
a
love
little,
taking the thing we need the most, Apple loves taking the thing.
it's just a little adapter, it's like less than $20, but, we'll have to
I know.
purchase that.
Something else like always said.
Oh, yeah,
If
yeah,
Steve
yeah, of course.
Jobs was still here, we would-
It wouldn't- This wouldn't be happening, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, the next thing is we have interviews for the
Excellent.
access coordinator, thank you. And so we had 2 applicants. Mr. Hunter, I emailed twice, called and left a message, no answer, no response. He was set for 7 o'clock, tentative, he's not
See,
here.
do you believe me?
I don't know.
I can tell you, I don't know. But I'm glad that Chris has done it too, so I don't,
No,
So
I
crazy.
called the other 5 too, so
No, I
I know
know,
exactly what it was like. So
it's
I
insane.
got no response from the gentleman, so, that's 7 o'clock, that's why I put tentative. And the next one is, Cliff, who is here right now, I guess we can take that, forward. You can step up here.
pull a chair up, yeah.
Just first,
Is this not
introduce
on?
yourself.
Batteries are dead?
That one died?
Just, introduce yourself. Oh, 1 second, once we get our mic working.
No, I don't think this one's gonna get working.
Why don't you just
bring that one?
Well, we can, let's see if we have, I'll talk loud. Okay, just, introduce yourself, tell us what you're already doing on the cable, on the channel, and, yeah, that's all.
Okay, well, my name's Clifton Melichet. I work for WBPA TV. Well, right now, I'm kind of the like the head producer, from the underground. So I edit a lot of band videos. I research bands. I get all these different groups together, and then I film that and I put that up on air. And then, other than that, I'll record meetings. I'll edit different games that'll go on. Really, whatever needs to be done in the office, I'll take care of. Like I was just sorting cables not too long ago, making sure I was doing inventory and all that too. And really, my whole thought process for signing up for trying to get this position is, I feel like I can definitely take on the added responsibility that comes along with it. And my whole MO right now is I'm just thinking, I'm a freshman in college right now. I kind of want to make the move out of just like little high school position of what I have right now. And it's also in my field. Like I'm a major in communications. This is something that I'm really wanting to work in, and it seems like a pretty solid start.
Okay, so it's 19 hours a week,
Mhm.
up to 19 hours, right? Some weeks.
Correct, yes.
So you're comfortable with you're able to get around school and
Oh yeah, I plan my school schedule to make sure I only had at max I'll have 2 classes a day. So then I want to make sure I could at least do maybe at minimum 2-3 hours, something like that here.
Well, I'll just, first, let Brittany, any questions you have, because you are more
Okay.
technical.
So Cliff,
You've worked with them.
yeah, so how long have you been working for WBPA?
Almost 3 years.
Okay, so you started when you were in high school, and, why did you start working for WBPA?
Because originally I was a part of the producers club
Mm-hmm,
for, I want to say since 7th grade, something like that.
okay,
And originally Neil was working here, so my whole MO was like, oh, I could work with a friend of mine. This was something I've already been doing. It seems like a pretty good gig, and I really was enjoying what I was doing so far. So I thought, pretty much just go for the job. Was my whole thought process.
Do you
there.
have roughly, including your producers club, about 5 years video production experience?
Good amount.
Okay, great. Anybody else have some other questions?
I don't have his resume, but,
Oh, just, this is.
no, I should just ask, it's okay.
Get the resume.
So this position is gonna be governing other people.
Correct. This is
How much-
mostly management.
Experience, I mean, maybe none, but how comfortable are you with that, you know? Are you
Completely.
okay with,
When I was a senior in high school, I was a part of my school's musical group, and I was the head of construction in that group. And we had to build this whole huge set. It was an 8 by 40-foot wall that was supposed to be the backdrop for a 50s restaurant. So I was the one that I got like a group of 5 people together. I learned how to build all these things, and I started to delineate things. So I would break up people into good groups. They would go to do something, and then I would help out any stragglers along the line. And originally, they weren't there until like the 3rd day of the project. So with the first 2 days, I was building all the struts. I was taking care of everything, and I was working alongside with the head worker, pretty much, like the guy that Mrs. Soma brought along to completely design everything, make sure everything was perfect, and then help build everything along. And with that, we built a completely code staircase that was just, if you guys saw the play, it was absolutely fantastic. And a bipedal swinging door, like just exactly like what the restaurant had. And it was all in part because of what Mr. Dano had done, the guy that Ms. Soma brought in, but it was also because of my ability to help delineate and figure out who could do the task best in that situation.
What do you have for outside commitments aside from school, sports, clubs, whatever?
On occasion, I'll do theater over at Worcester State, but even that, since it's very time consuming, I only do once a year. Because I'm like, mentally it was tearing me apart because it was really, really draining, but it was also putting a lot of it was putting a huge damper on my ability to work and everything, and my ability to study. So it was kind of it was a great time, don't get me wrong, but it was a bit of a detriment in some senses.
Okay, so that's it, just some theater projects?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a reliable vehicle?
Mm-hmm. And even if I did, I live just like 2 minutes up the road, so I could always
So you
walk.
can walk. You can walk. All right, do you have good boots?
I got decent boots.
Okay, all right, great. Hey, it's gonna snow
Dave, do you
tomorrow.
have any?
You're a communications major. Now, does the school, I'm just curious, does the school give you any credits if you're working in the field that you applying to school? Like, in other words, if we hired you as the access coordinator, would you get credits from the school for that?
I have to check with them first,
Okay.
because normally that's what they give for upperclassmen.
Okay.
So right now, I think it's just a situation where they're like, we want to have a little bit more trust with you, make sure we knew what's going on and all that.
All right. Do you know anything about that? Do colleges-
You know,
Could be.
probably, they probably can do like an internship or something for
Okay.
credit, but
That's
that
cool.
probably wouldn't be until his junior or senior
Okay.
year. That would be my guess. I don't have.
No, I mean, 'cause
direct
I
involvement
just,
with
you know, if
Depends on his
he's
program.
a communications major, you know,
Mhm.
and he does get the job, you know, and he tells the school, then, you know, and they would able to give him credits for that, then that's a plus.
if his program has a co-op as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, if that's the case, we wouldn't have to pay him if he's getting credits.
Ah, well, I mean, I don't know about that part.
So, Cliff, you're going to Worcester State now. Do you have plans on transferring to another school or?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
my whole goal right now is, I went from wanting to study abroad to I need to buy my own house and get out of mine right now, so
Okay,
it's not going towards that anymore now.
okay.
Okay, so as far as what the day-to-day for this job will be,
Mm-hmm.
or the week-to-week, I guess, it's not really day-to-day. It'll be assigning.
Yeah, so basically Cliff already does most of the things that this job would require. The only new thing that it's going to require is going to be the management of people. So there's gonna be a lot of communication, email, text, whatever, with the different workers, making sure this event is being covered, this meeting's being covered. You're gonna come in and edit this thing, you know.
And he does a report of when he currently will be working,
He fills out a timesheet
and then gives that
to me,
to.
yeah.
And he answers directly to you.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So,
And if you have things that you need him to do, or have the.
yeah, we email, we
Okay.
communicate back and forth, you know, I ask him, are you available to cover this, or can you come in and do this, you know? So that's the kind of stuff that he would start to, take over, communicating with the other production assistants, making sure that everything that needs to be covered is.
So you have a reliable laptop.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even need to be a laptop, just a computer with an internet connection.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Very reliable boots, pack, and laptop.
And he only lives down the block. So I
There's
mean,
so
you
many benefits.
know,
I've always thought, like, I actually, back in the summer, when Neil and I used to work here, we would walk down here, and then, like, during the lunch break, we'd go over to Brent Tide, and then after that, we'd come back here, hang out for like half an hour, and then go straight back over to work. It was an amazing, like, little
Work,
setup that we
yeah.
had, and it was so much fun. I missed the kid.
Yeah.
do you have anything, other than what the access coordinator does, do you have anything that you want to add on that you would like him to be able to do? Like any kind of training?
You mean
whatever?
beyond what the access coordinator?
Right, like as far as further training, so that he can.
I absolutely am going to continue to train him because he's
Okay.
had some CASTIS training, some training on some certain things, but obviously I want him to be knowledgeable in, well, I want the access coordinator to be knowledgeable in everything. So ideally, I would train my access coordinator, and then my access coordinator is gonna train the production assistants, so I don't have to train them individually.
And also, if you needed to be away, he would be the
He's
one.
gonna take over, yeah.
Okay.
But likewise, if he's going on vacation, then I would kind of fill in
Right,
for
right,
him when
yeah,
he's
yeah.
away.
But I'm just looking at it from the other aspect, making sure that you're giving him the training that he needs
Yeah.
to further, so that in case you had to take a leave of absence, or you went on vacation, or whatever,
Mhm.
he could
He'd
just,
be able to, yeah.
you know, and we would have, and he would make the reports to us
Yeah.
at our meeting or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
anyone who takes on the access coordinator position is gonna need further training,
Okay,
but Cliff definitely needs less than anybody else so far that's been, that has applied.
Now, is there any outside training, you know, that possibly the board can send them to?
There will be, yeah, so there will be, there's user group meetings for the server, the CASTIS server, there's user group meetings every few months. There's mass access conferences with continuing education, stuff like that. That's stuff that I would definitely send him to. Yeah, absolutely.
So now, this appointment's, it's not a contract appointment, it's not, so it's just an hourly employee.
Correct, yeah.
So they fall into the personal bylaw and that stuff. What do they call it, you know, like, 30 days he'll be on some type of probation. Is that how that would work?
I don't know how
Yeah, I
that
have to
works.
look at that.
the only other thing, dude, and maybe this is an unfair question, I don't know. You've worked with him for the last several months.
Mhm.
Are you satisfied with his work ethic?
Yeah, but again, the expectations for someone in a production assistant position are different than my expectations for someone in the access coordinator position.
Well, I understand
So-
that, but I'm just want to make sure that, you know, what he's doing now,
His,
you're happy, you
his
know.
performance in the production assistant position has been adequate,
Okay,
and, you know, we've had small discussion about my expectations if he were to fill the access coordinator
Okay.
position,
all right,
and my expectations are much higher,
okay.
so he's aware.
Well, I mean, it just, to me, it would seem like if, in what he's doing now, if you weren't happy with his work, then
Mhm.
that would have, you know, a significant, you know, play on, you know, how things would go.
Mhm.
I mean, he needs to be proficient at his job, you know,
Mhm.
what he's gonna be doing. I mean, he's doing a good job as a production assistant. Now he's stepping up one more. Now he's
Mhm.
gonna be in charge of the other production assistants.
Mhm.
But also the fact is you need him to be your right-hand person,
Yes.
you know, so I wanna make sure that it's a comfortable fit, that you are happy with the fact is what he's doing now, and you'll be satisfied with, you know, him moving, possibly moving up, and you'd feel comfortable that if you did have to walk out the door for a week or whatever, you could feel,
Yeah, well, I
comfortable.
can't say for sure right now, because he hasn't
no, no,
been
I
in that
understand,
position.
but from what
but-
you've seen,
Personally.
So I don't have reason to, you know.
okay.
Sounds
Be
like it's
afraid.
your, this sounds like it's your interview instead of his.
No, it's important, you know, that because he's gonna be,
He hasn't filled this role yet, so I can't say for sure, but,
but what you've seen of him.
what I've seen,
Okay,
I
that's the
have, you know, I'm extremely hopeful that Cliff can
Okay.
successfully fill the role.
Okay, that's the only thing.
Any other
It's
questions?
entirely understandable.
No. Any other questions? No.
Good.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we hire Mr. Cliff DeMello Shea as the access coordinator.
And I would say starting,
Ex-
well, I don't know if we can,
Tentative to February 1st.
Well, the Board of Selectmen has to approve it, right?
Well, they're
I don't
meeting
know.
tomorrow.
They'll meet tomorrow.
You can't put it on the agenda for
so
tomorrow,
the next meeting would probably be the first Monday would be the 7th of February.
Okay,
for Board of Selectmen.
so let's go with the 10th.
Oh,
Well, the 10th is a Saturday.
Okay.
11th would be cleaner.
Okay, 11.
are you okay with that? Well, you can work with him for the next 3 weeks. You know,
Yeah,
you know,
he's
this
not,
is-
you're not gonna fire him from his production assistant position, right?
No,
Okay.
Until then, no, well, I'm sure once he gets this one, he can have
Well,
both.
correct, but he'll be working between now and then, so,
So, starting on the Sunday would be the 11th?
yeah,
Okay,
so that would be,
we have the
that would be my motion.
that's perfect, because that's a pay period, yeah, that starts on your pay period. That would be
Okay,
ideal.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion in regards to this matter? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
congratulations.
Yay.
Thanks for done.
Thank God.
Believe me, this makes
Yeah.
her extremely happy.
Thank
You have no idea.
See you later, buddy.
Oh.
See ya.
Uh, 212. Dave, seconded by Tony. Okay.
He does a very good job
Great.
at
Thank you.
recording, because he's done a few of my ZBA meetings.
Mhm.
He's
He's done an okay job.
So.
Don't,
Only time I'm not
don't
happy-
boost
the
him
only-
as he
the
goes
only
too much.
The only time I'm not
We
happy
don't
is
want-
when nobody shows up for
We
recording.
don't want any big heads, and your chair is supposed to contact me. He
That's
has
me.
my contact information. Yep. So you have my phone number and my email. If it looks like it's not being recorded, you call
Did you,
me.
did you get a copy of our dates?
What's your guy's name?
ZBA?
No, the guy that sent me the email.
Oh, Jody, it's a woman.
Oh,
Okay, so
My
the next,
apologies.
we'll get to that in a
Yep,
second.
go ahead,
Next-
sorry.
Next item is future agenda items. I think we're gonna, mainly for the next meeting, look at the policies and
Yes,
procedure and the budget.
yes. So that'll be the whole
Just
meeting?
the whole
That'll be
meeting.
basically, you know,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
what
I did get it and I stored it in my email, but I did not enter it in my calendar.
Okay,
But I have it here,
Okay.
January 18th.
thank you.
It'll be
And
handy.
it's always subject to change, and we'll let you know
Right,
in
right, right.
advance if anything changes.
Okay.
Okay.
And budgets the next meeting, those are the main, because I think that the procedure is gonna take some time. So maybe if you can send me, if you wanna make notes or anything on that you want the board to see before
Beforehand for them to look over.
the next meeting. which
When
will
is,
be-
let's look at when we're gonna
what's
schedule the next
date?
meeting so that we know.
Today
It's the 16th.
So your Monday, Wednesday?
Tuesdays
So
is
it has to be
great.
a
Tuesday's
Tuesday.
great for me.
Okay, Tuesday.
Tuesday is the 20th,
Yeah, it's the
President's
19th.
Day, 2:20?
2:20 is fine with me.
Works for me.
Yep, you got lucky.
6:30. Next meeting,
February.
future agenda,
And that's a Tuesday, so do you think that the Friday prior, the 16th, you could or somewhere
You
before
can
they
sort of, yeah, a
get
week.
that information to us, about the procedures, so that we have.
But again, that's stuff that you need to decide, because
No,
some
so that we can
stations-
review it, so we can
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of review it, so when we come to when we have the meeting on the 20th, we can
Yeah.
discuss it.
just like one town is like, absolutely, we do church stuff, and the other town is no religious anything, you know what I mean? So that's
But I mean,
something
as
you
far
guys
as the
have to decide.
policies, just whatever you,
What I think is important.
yes, so that we can.
It's
re-
always a hot
It's,
issue.
it's always one of those topics.
Yeah, but it needs to be, at least we need to decide.
Just like years
Or
ago.
you need to decide. I
Just
should
like
say.
years
No,
ago, you
it's
used to
true.
be able to put the manger out in town square, now you can't do that anymore, because it offends people.
Well, no, you
You
can,
can do
but,
That's, I'm outside of this committee, though, I'm not.
Yes.
No, but you brought up about
Yeah,
the religion, I'm just saying.
what I'm saying is you can, however, that opens the door that you
Exactly,
Yeah,
have
exactly.
to let everybody else put their
Yes,
stuff on.
I guarantee that part won't be enough policies and procedures. It's gonna be
Um,
enough. We're
And
probably, I'm
nativity, we
thinking,
probably won't include that in.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
we could probably add, it depends on, so I didn't really look at this procedure, but how much we wanna say, what the channel, what it runs and things like
How
that. Is
detailed
it
you
in
wanna
there?
get,
That's
right,
not
right.
in there.
All of those, like, really, the stuff that's gonna matter isn't in there.
Okay, so if you can give us, that week before,
Sure.
try to get us something.
I like to see more comedy shows, old comedy shows.
It's an entire hour every weekday, 6 to 7 p.m. comedy. The
Wow.
selectmen's meetings. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, I guess we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I second that.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
We're good.
Thank you.